Welcome. Today, we're taking on a challenge that's more tangled than Doc Ock's arms. We're turning your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man into a Dungeons & Dragons character. Now, you might be thinking, but Spidey's all about modern tech and superpowers. How does that fit into a world of swords and sorcery? Well, stick around, and I'll show you how we can use official D&D rules to bring Peter Parker to life in the Forgotten Realms. No homebrew, no rule bending, just pure by-the-book D&D goodness. Our mission: create the most optimized Spider-Man possible using only official D&D content. It's time to see how our web-slinger fares against dragons instead of the Green Goblin. Alright, let's start with the backbone of any D&D character, the class. For Spider-Man, we're going with a multi-class combination that might surprise you. Monk, Way of the Shadow, Artificer, Armorer. Here's why this combo is our best bet. Monk, Way of the Shadow. Unarmored defense represents Spidey's agility and toughness. Martial arts and flurry of blows capture his fighting style. Stunning Strike is perfect for those webbed-up takedowns. Shadow Arts gives us some stealth capabilities. Evasion at 7th level is practically his spider sense. Artificer, Armorer, represents Peter's scientific genius. The Armorer subclass lets us create a power armor that we can flavor as the spider suit. Magical tinkering can be various gadgets. Infuse item allows for web shooters and other tech. For level split, we're looking at Monk 14, Artificer 6. This means our Spider-Man will have 14 levels in Monk and 6 levels in Artificer, totaling a 20th level character. This gives us the best of both worlds, high-level Monk abilities and enough Artificer to get those crucial suit upgrades. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, what about Rogue for stealth, or Fighter for combat skills? Valid points, but this combo gives us the most Spider-Man-like abilities within official rules. The Monk's mobility and quick attacks, combined with the Artificer's tech, create a character that feels just like our favourite wall crawler. And for Spider-Man's race, we're going with Variant Human. This choice gives us the most bang for our buck in representing Peter Parker's enhanced abilities. Plus 1 to 2 ability scores. We'll put these in Dexterity and Intelligence. An extra skill proficiency. A feat at 1st level. For our feat, we're taking Alert. This feat is perfect for representing Spider-Man's spider sense. Plus 5 bonus to Initiative. Can't be surprised while conscious. No advantage on attack rolls against you by unseen attackers. As for background, we're choosing Sage. This reflects Peter's academic excellence and scientific knowledge. Skill proficiencies: Arcana and History. Languages: Common, already known as a human. Plus Elvish and Dwarvish. Feature: Researcher, particularly useful for a science whiz like Peter. For the 2 additional languages, we've chosen Elvish and Dwarvish. Here's why. Elvish, often associated with ancient and arcane knowledge in D&D settings. This could represent Peter's interest in advanced and esoteric scientific concepts. Dwarvish, known for their craftsmanship and engineering, knowing Dwarvish could aid Peter in understanding complex mechanisms and constructs in the D&D world. These language choices give our Spider-Man character additional tools for research and investigation, fitting well with his scientific background and inquisitive nature. The Sage background also grants proficiency with the History and Arcana skills. While History might seem an odd choice for Spidey, remember that Peter is an excellent student with a broad knowledge base. Arcana can represent his understanding of advanced scientific concepts, which in a D&D world often blend with magical theory. This combination of Variant Human race and Sage background provides us with a solid foundation that captures Peter's enhanced physical abilities, his quick reflexes, and his intellectual prowess. It sets us up nicely to build upon these aspects as we go into ability scores and skills. Now, let's look at Spider-Man's ability scores. We'll use the standard array 15, 14, 13, 12, 10, 8 for this build, as it's a balanced approach that works well for multi-class characters. Here's how we'll allocate these scores, including our Variant Human bonuses. Dexterity. 16, 15 plus 1 from variant human. This represents Spidey's incredible agility and reflexes. Wisdom. 14. This reflects Peter's intuition and perceptiveness, crucial for his spider sense. Intelligence. 15, 14 plus 1 from variant human. Peter is a scientific genius, after all. Constitution. 13. Spider-Man is known for his endurance and toughness. Strength. 12. While not his primary attribute, Spidey is definitely stronger than the average person. Charisma. 8. Peter often struggles socially, especially when keeping his secret identity. As for skills, between our class choices, background, and variant human bonus, we have quite a few to work with. Here's what we're prioritizing: acrobatics, dexterity. For all those flips and web-swinging maneuvers, athletics, strength. Wall crawling and web-swinging require some serious physical capability. Investigation, intelligence. Peter's analytical mind at work, perception, wisdom, representing his heightened senses and spider sense. Stealth, dexterity. For sneaking up on bad guys. Arcana, intelligence. From the sage background, representing his scientific knowledge. History, intelligence. Also from sage, showing his broad academic knowledge. These ability scores and skills gives us a Spider-Man who's incredibly agile, smart, and perceptive, while also being physically capable and tough. It captures his key attributes from the comics and movies, translated into D&D terms. Now, let's do the exciting part. Translating Spider-Man's iconic powers into D&D mechanics. We'll be using a combination of monk and artificer abilities, along with some creative spell interpretations to bring Spidey to life. Web-Slinging, Artificer's Thorn Whip cantrip. Reflavoured as a web line, it allows Spidey to pull enemies closer or swing short distances. Monk's Step of the Wind. Use key points to take the disengage or dash action as a bonus action, perfect for web swinging between targets. Wall crawling, Monk's Unarmoured Movement. At 9th level, this allows you to move along vertical surfaces and across liquids without falling. Spider Sense. The alert feat we chose earlier covers this nicely. Monk's Evasion at 7th level. Dodge area effects entirely on a successful dex save. Artificer's Flash of Genius at 7th level. Add intelligence modifier to saving throws, representing split-second calculations. Enhanced strength and agility. Monk's Martial Arts and Flurry of Blows. Represent Spidey's quick, agile fighting style. Artificer's Enhanced Armor, Armorer specialty. Boost strength and armor, simulating his super strength. Web attacks, Artificer's Web spell. Available at Artificer level 3, this is perfect for Spidey. Monk's Stunning Strike. Reflavoured as a precision web shot to disable foes. Spider Armor Suits, Artificer's Arcane Armor, Armorer specialty. Different armor models can represent various spider suits with unique abilities. Gadgets and tech, Artificer's Magical Tinkering, and Infuse item. Create various gadgets like spider tracers or enhanced web shooters. Stealth, Monk's Shadow Arts. Gaining minor illusion cantrip and the ability to cast Darkness, Dark Vision, Pass Without Trace, and Silence using key points. This combination of abilities gives us a versatile Spider-Man who can web-sling, wall crawl, sense danger, fight with agility and strength, use various web attacks, deploy different suits, create gadgets, and operate stealthily. All of this is achieved using official D&D rules and spells, creatively interpreted to fit Spidey's style. Now that we've covered Spidey's powers and abilities, let's suit him up with the right gear. We'll be using a combination of standard D&D equipment and Artificer infusions to create Spider-Man's iconic tools. Spider Suit, Arcane Armor. As an Armorer Artificer, Spider-Man's suit is represented by Arcane Armor. We'll choose the Guardian model for its defensive capabilities, gives disadvantage on attack rolls against creatures other than the wearer within 5 feet of it. Thunder Gauntlets allow for powerful punches that can draw enemy attention. Web Shooters. We'll use the Artificer's Repeating Shot infusion on a hand crossbow to represent web shooters, ignores the loading property and creates its own ammunition, plus 1 bonus to attack and damage rolls. Spider tracers. These can be represented by the homunculus servant in Fusion. Creates a tiny construct that can fly and deliver touch spells, like Shocking Grasp for a mini taser effect. Utility belt. A standard component pouch reflavored as a utility belt to hold spell components and small gadgets. Enhanced goggles. Using the Goggles of Night in Fusion grants dark vision up to 60 feet. Can be flavored as part of the mask's eye lenses. Backup web fluid. Represented by Replicate Magic item, in Fusion to create a bag of holding. Stores extra web fluid, spell components, and gadgets. Spider signal. Use the light cantrip cast on a small object, flavored as a spider-shaped flashlight. Impact webbing, represented by the catapult spell, flavored as launching special impact web cartridges. Monk weapons, simple weapons like short swords, can represent Spidey's agile melee combat style when not using web shooters. These equipment choices and infusions allow us to recreate many of Spider-Man's iconic gadgets and suit features within the constraints of official D&D rules. The Artificer's ability to switch out infusions also gives us the flexibility to adapt to different situations, much like how Spider-Man often modifies his gear to tackle specific challenges. Translating Spider-Man's modern urban superhero story into a fantasy setting requires some creative thinking. Here's how we can adapt some of his most iconic traits and storylines to fit a D&D campaign. With great power comes great responsibility. This core tenet of Spider-Man's character can be represented through the character's ideals and bonds. In gameplay, consistently choose actions that prioritize helping others, even at personal cost. Secret identity. In a world of magic, maintain a secret identity, using the monk's Disguise Self spell from Shadow Arts. Roleplay the challenges of balancing heroic duties with personal life. Daily Bugle, J. Jonah Jameson. Adapt this to a town crier or local broadsheet that spreads misinformation about your character. Could be tied to a rival faction or a misunderstanding about your character's intentions. Uncle Ben's death. This pivotal backstory element could be adapted to the loss of a mentor figure to a monster or villain you failed to stop. Use this as motivation for your character's actions and moral code. Spider sense. Beyond the alert feat, work with your DM to occasionally receive cryptic warnings about danger. This could be represented through enhanced perception or insight checks in certain situations. Quips and banter. Use your character's lower charisma as flavour for awkward but endearing attempts at humour during combat. Consider taking the insightful fighting feature if you dip into Rogue, representing Spidey's tactical analysis mid-fight. Rogue's Gallery. Work with your DM to create fantasy versions of iconic Spider-Man villains. Example: Green Goblin could become a crazed alchemist who uses explosive potions and a flying broom. Mary Jane, Gwen Stacy, adapt these relationships to fit the campaign setting, perhaps as fellow adventurers or NPCs in need of occasional rescue. Alien Symbiote storyline. This could be adapted to a cursed magical item that enhances abilities but influences the wearer's behaviour negatively. The Friendly Neighbourhood role. Take on side quests to help local townspeople, building a reputation as a local hero. Use your intelligence and skills to solve problems beyond just combat. By adapting these elements, we create a character that captures the essence of Spider-Man while fitting seamlessly into a D&D world. This approach allows for familiar storylines and character dynamics to play out in fresh, fantasy-inspired ways. While we've managed to create a Spider-Man-inspired character using official D&D rules, there were certainly some challenges along the way. Power level. Spider-Man is exceptionally powerful in his own universe. Balancing this within D&D's framework without overshadowing other characters was tricky. Technology versus magic, translating Spidey's tech-based powers into a magic-based system, required creative interpretation of spells and abilities. Urban setting. Spider-Man is quintessentially urban, while D&D typically assumes a more varied, often rural or wilderness-based adventure setting. This required reimagining some of his abilities and story elements. Web-slinging, fully replicating the freedom and versatility of web-slinging within D&D's movement rules was challenging. we approximated it through a combination of spells and abilities. Scientific background, representing Peter's scientific genius in a world without modern science, needed careful consideration of how his intelligence would manifest. Continuous powers. Many of Spidey's abilities are always active, which doesn't align well with D&D's resource management system of spell slots and limited use abilities. And there you have it, Spider-Man reimagined as a D&D character. Let's recap what we've created. A monk, Way of Shadow. Artificer, Armorer, multiclass. Variant, human race with the alert feat. High dexterity and intelligence, representing Spidey's agility and smarts. A mix of martial arts, magic, reflavoured as tech, and enhanced armour to simulate his powers. Creative use of spells and abilities to represent web-slinging, wall crawling, and spider sense. Artificer infusions to recreate iconic gadgets and suit features. This build gives us a character that's agile, intelligent, and versatile, much like the Spider-Man we know and love. While it's not a perfect one-to-one translation, no D&D build could be, it captures the spirit of the character within the framework of the game's rules. Remember, the heart of Spider-Man isn't just his powers, but his sense of responsibility, his perseverance, and his wit. Bring these to your role-playing, and you'll bring Spider-Man to life in your D&D game. Now, go out there and show the Forgotten Realms what a friendly neighbourhood Spider-Man can do. Banana Breakdown, swinging out.